friends, and welcome to another episode of Daily EPL Talk. Well, it hasn't been daily lately because I totally understand we have been absent for a while, but let me make another attempt and say this to you that we were thinking, the 2 weeks why we haven't been there for you is because we have been thinking about what kind of content we should be bringing to you, what makes sense that works for you, what you would like to know that probably no one else is covering, or something where you don't have to make an effort. So, yes, finally we came up with that content, and as soon as we came up with that content, we decided to come to you. And if you like it, I would request please like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and from here on, we will try to bring a flow where we will daily bring you most up to date EPL content, which obviously no one else focuses on. We are the only platform EPL24x7.com, which focuses only on English Premier League. So let's get started. And the first thing that I want to start with is the statement of the day. Well, it has to come from Manchester United because Ralph Ragnick has had his first press conference, and obviously what he spoke, what he did not speak, which came from his body language, we will cover another time. But in today's episode, we will mostly cover the statement that Michael Carrick gave, as well as we will talk about exactly what is going on with Everton. Because one thing which is getting missed is the fact that Everton is in a mess at the moment. A, they did not hire the manager who was well liked by everybody. He had divided opinion. B, their performances aren't happening on the pitch at the moment. So, what's really gone wrong? Let's try and understand that. But before that, we move on to our next topic, which is match of the day. So, yesterday there were two matches which happened. First match, which started early, was Tottenham versus Brentford, and Tottenham was clear out and out winner. They won 2-0, and I have to say that there was a big improvement in the performance that I saw in the game versus Brentford versus if I go a week back and I see the game versus uh, Mino in Europa League. It was a fantastic performance yesterday. It was a complete shutout of Brentford, and it's not easy. A team which has scored three times against Liverpool. Imagine, it's not easy, and it may be ringing some alarm bells for Thomas Frank as much as his goodness is. But the fact is that they have fallen behind in six previous games during the season. They have they have let in goals during the opening 15 minutes many times. And the other fact is that they did not have any meaningful chance yesterday except one maybe in the first half. And of course, Tottenham does deserve credit because Pierre Holberg was excellent in midfield. You had Son who was providing a constant threat throughout. Kane hasn't even scored yet. Imagine Kane hasn't even scored a goal yet. So yet they won so far. So it was a very good all in all solid defensive shape, and it looks like it may be too early to judge it, but it looks like that Tottenham and Antonio Conte are kind of marrying up with each other. So that was on the Tottenham versus Brentford, and if we come to Manchester United, 3-2, and obviously Ragnick had covered that in his first press conference today. But we have to talk about the fact that it was non-stop 90 minutes, where probably rightfully said the game could have been 4-2, 3-2, 3-3, any scoreline. And you have to say that issues were with Arsenal were pretty obvious. They had a bad defense. If you talk about Nuno Tavares or Takehiro Tomiyasu, they probably need more patience because Premier League is ruthless. It needs time for people to settle in. But they struggled in possession, and Tavares, especially Nuno Tavares, was constantly out of position and he was constantly moving back, trying towards his own, sprinting towards his own goal defensively. So it was kind of a struggle for them. And of course, for Manchester United, this probably was a performance which was not ever seen before. We have seen them fall behind so many times, never to again come back. But this was a performance which was a fighting performance, and let's see what we get to see under Ralph because just when we thought that under Carrick, the team has started performing again with 1-1 draw against Chelsea, which was very creditable. It could have been probably been a win for Chelsea or a win for again Manchester United as well. Villarreal, a very comfortable performance, and then finally against Arsenal, a win. So just when we thought that things were stabilizing and now you have a new manager, let's see how it goes. Now we move to today's topic. Well, before today's topic, let's cover actually the statement of the day. So it came from Michael Carrick, who decided to step down as Manchester United's first team coach and also as the caretaker manager. As a player, he made 464 appearances during his 12-year spell at United, and following his retirement as a player, that was 12 years as a player, and as a manager or a assistant coach, he has been there with. He joined the staff of Jose Mourinho, and then after that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And of course, it came as a shock to the players because even though I might like to think that Bruno already knew or had a hint about it, but yes, officially the players only got to know after the match was over. And here is what Michael Carrick said, right? He said that it was 100% my decision. I made the decision over last week. So it wasn't that Ralph did not want in his team. And obviously, today morning, Ralph has clarified as well that he couldn't say anything to Carrick, which was his personal decision. So this was the statement that was made by Michael Carrick. He respects the club and the new manager coming in. There hasn't been any crossover. I made the decision before speaking to Ralph. It wasn't an easy one, but the right decision for the club. I was just desperate for us to win the game. It takes over your life. I promised my family after playing and putting so much time that I'll spend some time with them. And we all know that coaching is not a part time job, it's a full time consumption, unlike maybe the players who have to spend some time training, recuperating, etc. For coaching, it's 24 cross 7 job and very limited time that you can give actually to the family, and that was one of the primary reasons why a lot of managers like Zinedine Zidane himself, for example, has refused to come to Premier League as of now. Now, next we want to talk about the today's topic. So obviously the man you see, Rafa Benitez. Let's cover exactly what's the issue because the owner Farhad Mushiri had to come back after Wednesday night's defeat against Liverpool and said that clarify that they are not in a mood to sack yet. But you know what happened to Ole. There also the statement did come out, and eventually because of the kind of performance on the pitch, so league performance plays a big part, and you have to say that what exactly is going on with Everton. I mean, they have failed to win any of their last 8 league matches. It's their worst run since 1999, and I don't want to talk about a particular match yet because obviously it's said that Benitez gifted the match to Liverpool by playing a 4-4-2 formation. So we are not going to that micro level of any match because this is about what's going on with their performance and what's going on deeper in their season so far. So number one point is injury problems. Loss of Dominic Levin, Decore, Fabian Delph, Yerry Mina, Lucas Digne, Andre Gomez. All of these injuries have come together, and that's a big major reason why it has ruined any chances of positive results. Now, you might say that, well, it's such a big club or considered to be one of the big clubs. Couldn't they imagine that a club always enters the season with a squad? Well, that's where the problems have been, and that's where the questions have been asked on the recruitment as well as in the depth of the squad. Why was James Rodriguez allowed to leave without any replacement? On top of it, you haven't even seen Gylfi Sigurdsson, and he hasn't been replaced properly with creativity on the pitch. So, two players going out and no replacement. So, what's going on with their recruitment and with their lack of depth? So, yes, that's what it was. But then the question might also come up and say that listen, they are bad, but then they have not recruited. But then the players that are currently there, if you talk about Allen, Lucas Digne, Andres Townsend, these are all players who probably, other than Ivan Tony of Brentford, are all much better than Brentford. Yet Brentford seem to be a much better team than Everton. So is the blame really all with recruitment and depth of squad or somewhere else? Well, it has to be 50% with recruitment and 50% with, I would say, 40% with just the luck of injuries and 10% maybe or 20% maybe with Rafa Benitez. I'll tell you why. Seamus Coleman, he's 33-year-old now. till date, I mean, season after season, there is no replacement, there is no competition for him in the squad. They haven't been able to replace him, and finally, now what are they looking at? A guy who was passed on by Carlo Ancelotti that he's not ready yet, and Benitez has no choice because they are still trying to find a replacement for Seamus Coleman. Yes, I'm talking about Jonjo Kenny. He was supposed to be the replacement of Seamus Coleman, but as an academy product, but he's still not there yet. So overall, I would say the major blame has to go to bad recruitment for Everton and obviously to their injury issues. But there are also murmurs that are going on. Yes, Benitez has still not lost the dressing room yet. The team spirit, however, is lost. Why? Because when you win matches, you raise the spirit, but when you keep losing matches, the players feel down. That's the mentality of the players. They haven't really switched off from Benitez yet, and what they say is we are continuing to do what we are told to do. And Benitez is one kind of manager who goes right into the deep details of every person's responsibility. It's what exactly the players want, but when the performances aren't happening on the pitch, it's exactly what the players switch off to as well. That okay, manager has told me this to do, and we will do it. So they have not completely switched off, but they're turning into that mode of switching off internally. The grumbles have already started. So even though probably he has one or two matches still left for that goodwill, but Rafa Benitez is definitely right at the top up there on the sack race. And those are the problems that currently Everton has, which they need to solve. Again, not completely, maybe the January window, if the board can have patience, some magic works out for them. Those are the things that remain to be seen as a question. Will Benitez survive, or even any manager who comes with this squad survive? How did you like this presentation? Please do let us know. Please like us on the Facebook page. Please follow us on Twitter. We are on Twitter as well. And please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll bring you more of such updates as much as possible. Thank you and have a good one.